Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
So we arrived at the military German cemetery, and yeah, let's have a look what's to see here. There's also an information board with some sound, so let's listen.
One important witness on the German side was Willy Siebert. He was studying to become a pharmacist, but then his tutor died and his training came to an end. From then on, he worked selling paint and varnish products. When the war broke out, he first served in the infantry, but from 1915 he was posted to a unit which was working on chemical warfare. He helped with preparations for the gas attacks. Later, at the Eastern Front, he was himself a victim of a gas attack and was forced to perform administrative work for the remainder of the war. In 1921, he emigrated to the United States.
It was finally decided to release the gas. The weathermen had got it right. It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining brightly. The patches of grass that still remained were lovely and green. It was a more suitable time for organising a picnic, not for carrying out what we had in mind. Shortly after midday, the artillery began heavy bombardments. The French could do nothing but take shelter in their trenches. Just after the bombardments, we ordered our infantry to pull back and the gas bottles were open. When the gas was released in the early evening, it was eerily quiet. We wondered what would happen. As the greenish-grey cloud drifted further in the direction of the front ahead of us, we suddenly heard French cries. Less than a minute later, they started to frantically fire their weapons and machine guns. I had never heard such a thing. Every field cannon, every machine gun, every weapon that the French possessed was fired simultaneously. I had never heard such a commotion in my life. The shower of bullets that flew over our heads was astounding, but they couldn't stop the gas. The wind carried it further in the direction of the French lines. We heard the cows bellow in fear, the horses whining in panic. The French continued to fire. They fired wildly. After a quarter of an hour, their firing began to subside. And after another 15 minutes, we heard just the occasional shot. And then everything fell silent. The cloud of gas cleared, and we set off, passing the empty gas bottles in the direction of the enemy. What we found was total death. Nothing, absolutely nothing had survived. All the animals had crawled out of their shelters to die. Rabbits, rats, moles, mice, they were everywhere. Death. The smell of gas still hung in the air. The odour was still powerful in the remains of several bushes. When we arrived at the French lines, they were empty. Around 500 metres further, bodies of the French soldiers were scattered all over the place. It was unbelievable. Further away, we also saw the bodies of English soldiers. They had clawed at their faces, at their throats, gasping for air. Some had committed suicide. The horses, some still harnessed, cows, chickens, everything was dead. We began counting the victims. The impact of this operation was far greater than we could ever have imagined. That evening we must have killed thousands of Frenchmen, and a great many citizens with this new weapon. The infantry followed us, but when they found no resistance whatsoever, They turned back empty-handed. We also returned to our camp, asking ourselves what we had done and what the consequences would be. We knew that from then on, nothing would ever be the same again.
This testimonial was written by Willie Siebert in the 1930s after his son learned in school about several American war heroes. He wanted his son to know what war was really like.
This is a very nice cemetery. I think there's actually also, I'm not sure, bunkers in there. Look, see those bunkers?
Yeah.
It's very,
These are casualties from the wars. And
it's nice build up. Yeah,
is that
these are all German soldiers here.
one battery or one or two?
I don't know. I think nobody knows what happened here. They were all gassed. All the names of the people that died here. And a bee nest.
Bee nest.
There, bee nest.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's go. Go to the other one. Oh, there's a long way down there. Long hallway, like between the trees. It's a nice cemetery. Special. They actually made a lot of effort to make this for the Germans, even though they were the enemy. And they really, brought a lot of misery in Europe. And still, they made such a nice cemetery, calm cemetery. So all the Germans that died here, they are actually,
They died during a gas attack.
yeah, they're actually in peace now here. There's a lot of bees around.
Dangerous.
Yeah, there's some beehives here. So let's watch out. It's a very nice day, warm. And in the shadow it's nice to walk here.
We are lucky.
On these slabs of stones, all the names are of the soldiers that died here. Very young people, actually. These are bunkers. Two old bunkers that are actually three old bunkers that are combined with stones inside the cemetery. There is no entrance into these bunkers anymore. They are shut down by bars, iron bars. "44,000 victims are here. German victims are here on this cemetery. It's crazy.